Jam. Presented by 1-800-COLLECT.
Jerry Venato, Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego, California. Lots of rain, lots of El Nino, lots of people in little goofy rain suits. Tonight on our little special program, me and IMJ presented by 1-800-COLLECT. Guess what? That's right. Action, 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 lots of action. Spanky Spangler, the stuntman. Rough Trucks, and well, let's not leave them out. It's all about the monsters. Give it up.
Monster Trucks.
Okay, we're going to have to keep that moving. Son, Dennis Anderson, Gravedigger, the man, the myth. What's going on?
Hey, I'm at a wet pit party right now, cooling off this fireball from one of my fans. But, hey, man, we're having a great time. We're getting ready to probably race in some mud down here. But, hey, we've come this far, and we're not going to back out of this mission.
Okay. Remember when I drove the digger?
No,
my mind drifts back.
No, you've never drove it.
Don't lie now. The fans don't, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
I thought I was doing the wheelie. It was just a suspension, 26 inches.
And you thought you'd done a wheelie, and you didn't even get the wheels out high off the ground.
Because I'm a wuss, and you're the man, and I'm not worthy. Bye.
A Sunday stroll along the shimmering Southern California coast? Forget about it. That's the playing field, folks. The fans seem to enjoy the El Nino weather, or at least they were able to make the most of it. The crew from the USHRA did what they could to keep the dirt intact, while our show host did absolutely nothing. But between Mother Nature and the monsters, it was bound to become a mud bog. That, of course, suits these monster trucks just fine.
Beautiful day, isn't it? Doesn't make any difference. What about mud? Inside, it'll be...
That's pretty much it. Even the bulldozers were getting rooster tails. Clean off those lenses. It's time to go racing. The mudslinging started off with Dan Runty and Bigfoot having his way over Chuck Jordan and Survivor. Runty was no stranger to the mud, handling his Ford like a veteran. Now, another member of Team Bigfoot, Sky Hartley, was on hand driving the venomous Snakebite. He was pitted against Brian Womack and Barefoot. Womack bogged out as Snakebite went hammer down, getting huge air high atop the waterlogged track and sliding into round number 2. Whoever said snakes couldn't fly?
When we cruise around out here in the pit party, you notice a lot of guys have, some guys have tire sponsors, some don't. They're running old tires. You had your preference with the mud. Would you run a tire that's grooved down a little more, or maybe something brand new? What do you think?
For the mud, I'd run something that's fairly new, but kind of hogged out so that it's actually like a bigger digger that you'd run in the mud.
See, every day at work, I learn new phrases. I've learned out what's in the trunk and hogged out.
Hogged out indeed. Well, those poor little hogs must have been hungry because they ate up the muddy course as Dragon Slayer blows past Monster Patrol to advance to the next round. Next up, it was the man who always seems to get his truck dirty, Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger, set to take on Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose.
You've been all around the world, everywhere. Do you like the mud? Do you like it dry? Do you even care?
Well, once, like I say, we're in such a mission. It's like a mission that we go on. Once you get this far, we don't care.
Obviously not, as the digger took an instant liking to the mud, plowing past Nelson and moving into second round action. The fans were all whooped up in a frenzy as Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer squared off against Gravedigger on the straight line course. Both monsters catch big air on the tabletop, but nothing was stopping Dennis Anderson tonight. He was definitely on a mission, and he moves a step closer to fulfilling it, progressing to the final round. And who would it be to take on the seemingly unstoppable digger? It's definitely a Ford, as teammates Sky Hartley and Dan Runty prepare to become opponents. Coming in even at the jump, watch as Runty is able to give Bigfoot that little extra in the jump. It sends Snakebite slithering back home. It'll be Bigfoot and Gravedigger, the Mud Kings, in the final showdown.
Monster truck fans come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Right now, the youngest monster truck fans here in San Diego, right?
You're right. You've got the grandkids out here.
That's what I like to hear. Hey, stick around for more great racing on IMJ when we come back. Anywhere. This is where I choose to sit on the crush cars. Okay, enough of that foolishness. Ann Ford, you know the name. Well, you don't now. You're going to find out. She had a little piece on stadium lights. You don't know what they are, do you? She knows. Watch it. She'll tell you all about it. Ah!
Stadium lights.
I'm Ann Ford, and we're sitting here talking to Todd Whitman in front of his stadium light. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, look, your name. That's great. So tell me a little bit about the whole Offroad Series and how you guys got involved with this.
We got into it. We started racing in stadiums in Mickey Thompson, and now the Stadium Series came back with pace, and it's really a lot of fun. So we brought out our small cars back out. And
wonderful. Wait, tell me a little bit about this here vehicle.
It's a 500cc, two-stroke, single cylinder. The car weighs about 675 pounds, so we're just about at the minimum weight. So this car's pretty fast.
Can't eat a lot of French fries.
Exactly. I think I need to lose a little bit of weight.
Oh, you look great. Who's your mom?
My mom, she came out to run the stadium light out here, so she's pretty anxious to get into it.
Oh, we're here with the Flying Granny. This is Todd Whitman's mother. Hello, isn't that cool? Mother, son, racing against each other. So, how long have you been racing?
I've been racing about a year now.
So, your son got you into it, yes?
Yes, they dared me, and I took up the dare.
Wow, so do you ground your son if he beats you?
Yeah, he's tough. Just go out and catch big air.
Well, we can't wait to see you fly, Granny.
Well, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Monster Trucks.
The fans packed into the Cajun Dome in Lafayette, Louisiana for a heaping helping of monster trucks, served up Creole style. Scott Hartsock and his gunslingers started things off with a bang against Paul Schaefer and Monster Patrol. Hartsock wheelies across the car, but Monster Patrol gives it just enough to quiet the gunslinger. Little Tiger was ready to roll, taking on the big guns of Hollywood Hogan. Both trucks had a good run, but Hollywood manages to muscle his way into round two. Little Tiger's strong run made him fast loser and put him in the next round where he would face the number one qualifier, Todd Frolic and Barefoot. Now, Little Tiger hesitated, if only for a split second, and Barefoot dug his mighty claws in the Cajun soil, pawing his way into final round action. His competition was narrowed down to Hollywood Hogan and Monster Patrol. Paul Schaefer seems undaunted by the brute power of his foe, and he edges out Hollywood Hogan, taking Monster Patrol to the finals where he would face the hungry Barefoot. The fans were ready to crown a champion. Off the line, Monster Patrol shows off his fine-tuned Chevy engine as he surpasses Barefoot for the win. The boys weren't through yet, though, as they spiced up the dome with a Ragin' Cajun freestyle down on the bayou.
Arenacross moment.
It was bar-banging excitement in Friday's 125 main. It's been a while, but reigning champ Buddy Antonez got the jump on the pack. Behind him, Cliff Palmer and Tom Hoffmaster had their bells rung. The bumping continued throughout as number 8, Grayson Goodman, gets the short end of the stick with Mike Jones. The Texas rider remounted to finish 5th. Number 1, though, Antonez dominated all the way. He was first across the finish line for his 10th win of the season ahead of Buell and Jones.
The Jammer Question of the Week, presented by 1-800-COLLECT.
Hi, my name is Maureen, and my Jammer question is, how long is the average monster truck wheelbase?
While you ponder this week's Jammer question, check out the IMJ calendar. The Peterson's U.S. Truck Fest Series hits Fountain, Colorado, May 23rd and 24th at Pikes Peak International Raceway. It's Monster Jam time at the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse, New York. The Monsters will be tearing it up at the Fairgrounds June 6th. The Truck Fest Series continues at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, June 12th through the 14th. And the Hagerstown Speedway in Hagerstown, Maryland will host Monster Jam July 17th and 18th.
Inside Monster Jam. We'll be right back. Jammer Answer of the Week, presented by 1-800-COLLECT.
Hi, I'm Gary Porter, owner and driver of the Carolina Crusher. I have this week's Jammer answer. The average wheelbase of a monster truck is about 120 inches. I run a little longer wheelbase at 152 to make the truck a little more stable, and so maybe the front end won't come in the air so quick and so high.
Stadium Rough Trucks.
You thought the mud made it interesting for the Monsters. What about these guys? The rough trucks were doing their thing in San Diego. In the timed lap course, number 18, Marlene Rogerson, was slipping and sliding in her 81 Bronco. But number 7, Rod Fantelli, had the quicker time to advance. San Diegan Alessandro Yee had a good time in his 88 Ford. He beat his opponent, but he wasn't fast enough for the final round. In the finals, Rod Fantelli was at it again, this time taking on Perry McNeil Jr. in the yellow Ford. Fantilli took him with a time of 28.66 seconds. But in the end, it was number 20, Mark Krennick, with a winning time of 28.31 seconds in the 1995 Jeep Cherokee.
Monster trucks.
Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger blasted into the Metrodome to greet a near sellout crowd of over 54,000 Monster fans. No doubt they were ready to roll, and so was the Digger. In round one action, he all but rearranges the Zodiac, defeating Torres in impressive fashion. Next on Digger's docket is Little Tiger, and he's quickly caged as Robert Parker moves on to semifinal action, where it's Rambo's turn to face the wrath of the big block Chevy. Once again, it's Digger domination as he strong-arms Rambo, leaping into final round action. Tom Mintz in Monster Patrol was pitted against Priority 1. He literally leaps into the camera shot, blowing past Mike Dropic and his big yellow Ford. But Mintz brought his Chevy down hard on the landing, tearing off the front right wheel, and it would put him out of the competition. Mintz vowed, however, to get his Chevy ready to go for freestyle. It would be David Morrison Equalizer taking over for Monster Patrol. He's able to edge out Barbarian to advance into the final round. And on to the showdown. Off the start, it's Parker with a wheel stand, and sailing into the final jump, it's Gravedigger with an easy win in the Twin Cities. With the serious competition now behind them, the Monsters were anxious to cut loose in an all-out freestyle. And, true to his words, Tom Mintz was able to get his wheel repaired and return to dazzle his fans. The pesky tire would get away from him once again, but Mintz was determined to give his fans a show.
Gonna beat on this thing and beat on it all night. I think I pretty well got it tore up.
Gravedigger, not to be outdone, wheelies the track before the victor goes head over heels in a tire-slinging display of Monster Mania in Minneapolis.
Robert Parker and the Gravedigger. First of all, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, man. We got a tore-up truck, though.
All right, me and Wiley are hanging in San Diego. Who said you couldn't have fun if it's wet and muddy? Right, kid? Right. Okay, now we're going to Houston. We're going to talk to Ann. She's got it all hooked up. All hooked up with off-road action. Check it out. Ann!
The U.S. Offroad Championship Series.
Hey, I'm Ann Ford. We're here in Houston, Texas for more off-road action on IMJ. The race is about to start. Let's rock it, Texas style.
In Stadium Lights action, number 5, Joe Price bangs it out with points leader number 50, Richard Kosar, for the whole shot as Price gets the lead. Kosar never let up, though, bouncing his way through the whoops. Third place Paul Sutton has a disagreement with a guardrail, and Kosar could never catch the number 5 as Joe Price takes the victory in Houston. Kosar did remain in the points lead with 198, followed by Sutton and Price. Points leader number 4, Spud Walters, rockets off the start past number 18 Lane. A slip in the corner was about the only mistake Walters would make all night. While the rest of the pack was busy clumped in the turn, Walters was actually widening his lead. Lane continued the chase, lap after lap, but there was no touching the number 4 bike tonight, as Spud Walters takes his second consecutive Thunder Bikes victory. Walters tops the chart with Joning and Summers in second and third.
Pro Quads.
Number 1, Shane Hitt leads the Pro Quads off the line with number 18, Mark Earhart, close on his tail. Then it was number 4, Joe Bird, knocking on his door, bumping the leader in the whoop section. Earhart capsizes his quad in the jumble, dropping him back. Number 4, Bird, proved his abilities in the whoops, passing Hitt for the lead, and he never let up, finishing with a commanding lead over Hitt and Corey Ellis. Hitt's second place finish did earn him enough points to stay atop Shell and Bird, who split second place.
Super modified buggies.
In super modified buggy action, number 12, Jerry Welchel, going first into the turn. He's banged by number 4, Steve Sallenbach, who wanted the whole shot. Welchel was maneuvering his Chenoweth with pinpoint accuracy, though, as he lengthened his lead. Number 6, Corey Witherell, was banging it out all night with Sallenbach as they went for the number 2 position. And it's Welchel at the finish line with his second straight victory in the super modified buggy division. Welchel leads the points race with 240. Sallenbach is second. Larry Fodwell is third.
Stadium Sport Trucks.
St. Louis winner Johnny Greaves in the number 1 truck took the early lead in the Stadium Sport Truck race. Number 09, Leo Donald, gets hooked up with number 3, Raul Flores, losing a quarter panel in the process. Meanwhile, Greaves proved to be untouchable for the duration of the race, trying to expand on his season points lead. He makes a nice save in the final lap to ensure a second victory for Johnny Greaves in truck number 1. Greaves remains the points leader with Bayer and Brandt behind him.
That's it for off-road action here in Houston. We'll see you next episode. Check us out, Off-Road Racing. I'm going to go help the boys clear off the track. Here I go.
Inside Monster Jam. We'll be right back.
Look.
A closer look.
All right, we're taking a closer look with Barefoot. The challenge is on. Todd, can you sign autographs and talk about your truck at the same time?
It's tough, but we're going to try it.
All right. Well, talk to me about the vehicle.
It's basically a 96 Dodge, running a tube chassis, Keith Black Hemi, Lincoln transmission, Crowler slipper clutch, all high-tech race stuff out here.
How long have you been racing monsters?
I've been driving for Fred for 4 years now. This is my 4th winter with him.
Was it like a childhood aspiration? I want to be a monster truck driver when I grow up.
Yeah, I did the typical dream, boy, it'd be cool to drive, Bigfoot Gravedigger, and here I am in one of the top trucks in the country.
And winning, I might add.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Don't ever give up your dreams, It's unbelievable when you make it there.
How about the competition?
Yeah, too much competition. They're all tough. Every time you come into a U.S. Hot Rod show, you better be ready to run.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
More IMJ Racing.
In Quad Wars action, it was number 18, Mike Studden of Team North, jumping out to an early lead. Number 1, P.J. Hall of Team South bumps the leader in the turn, and both wound up veering off the track as another Team South member takes over the top spot. But it was far from over. The racing was close all night on the tight indoor track as the teams battled it out through the hairpin turns. On to the final lap, where P.J. Hall dumps it the final turn as his nemesis, number 18, Mike Studden, gets the victory for Team North. In Cycle Wars racing, it's number 8, Pat O'Connor, getting the jump on the pack at the start, while number 3, Walter Procanon, is close behind. Number 2, Chris Prenderville, was having a strong run in third until he gives it just a little bit too much lift off the jump, bouncing his bike into Never Never Land. Then the leader, number 1, Joe Koopman, slides out in the final turn, opening an easy victory for number 6, Ron Snyder, who shows off with this acrobatic finish.
So as I stroll up to the Peterson Auto Museum here in lovely Los Angeles, California, I'm thinking to myself, well, hey, there's a monster truck. So I go over there and I look at it, and I'm standing underneath, and I'm gazing up, as you are right now, with me. And I think, boy, if this was an event, this would be the wrong place, wrong time. So I'm going to get out of here real quick, go inside, and look at all the great vehicles. I haven't really seen them yet, but would you like to share it with me? Step this way. Is that Jerry Bernardo? This is what I'm interested in, right here, the 64 Man Array. I totally picture me rolling up to a monster truck event in that bad boy. I mean, would Dennis Anderson be upset? The Lamborghini Diavolo, 485 horsepower, 202 miles an hour.
Agnes, would you like to go to Pikes Peak Truck Fest with me? Would love to. Would you buy me a malt?
See anything? What is it? What?
Hi, my name is Kurt, and it's time for some monster freestyle.
Okay, talk to me about freestyle. What does it mean?
Freestyle. Freestyle equals fun. It's fun for the drivers. It's fun for the crowd. It's actually the driver taking the truck out, showing you what he can and can't do with it. Sometimes you can get away with things, and sometimes you can't. You get the adrenaline pumping. You get that 1,500 horsepower behind you rumbling. It's taking the truck and putting it to the limit. That's freestyle.
What a rule breaker, huh?
It's fun.
Do you think any of the people that surround me care if it's what? No! We're having a good time, and stick around after this commercial. Great action coming up on IMJ. Yeah! this El Nino, but guess what? See this right here? This is mud. And the Gravedigger and the Bigfoot are going down right here, right now.
Final showdown.
The time had come to crown a champion as Dan Runte brought out the Bigfoot Ford from St. Louis. As for the Digger, he seemed not just ready to go, but electrified. Dennis Anderson had said earlier this was a mission, and he wasn't about to back down. He took the inside lane against Bigfoot. Both had a quick start. Then Gravedigger kicked it into high. He was truly unstoppable that night, taking the 1/900 Pro Race Final Showdown title in the mud-drenched Qualcomm Stadium. Then something snapped. Did it ever? The mighty Digger would run amok, going hog wild across the track, devouring everything in his path. Cars, barriers, it made no difference. Dennis Anderson went on a rampage. Bigfoot thought it was best to keep out of his way, and the Gravedigger just went off. Mission accomplished. There would be no interviews tonight. Dennis Anderson has left the building.
Thrill Seekers.
Okay, when Spanky Spangler's in the house, you know some car's going to get busted up. What's going on tonight, Spanky?
Well, tonight I got a ramp up here. This ramp is about 12 feet high. I got a pipe on top of it. My pipe is like 5 feet high. What I'm going to do is take a car, take it up this ramp here, and hit a pipe. We got a lot of rain coming down now, so we got a lot of problems.
All right, well, I hope you get your stunt pulled off tonight. We'll be here. Good luck.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
We're pretty patient with this rain. What happened coming down the tunnel?
Well, when I was coming down the tunnel, my car got sideways. It's flooded in there. There's water coming down like a waterfall, and I was riding right over it. I got a little crossed up in there, but I had to stay with it and pull it out. Try to get to this ramp to get to these cars.
Like they say, Spanky Spangler, the stuntman. That's the show here from San Diego. El Nino, Spanky, and Jerry on IMJ. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. I'll see you again. Let's hook up at the Astrodome.
We'll hook up at the Astrodome, Demolition Derby, me and you one-on-one.
Right on.
Get ready, because next episode, we're taking you to where it all began. The madness, the mayhem, the monsters. It's a journey with Jerry, deep inside Bigfoot's lair. But Bigfoot isn't the only monster tearing it up across America. IMJ's got wild monsters in the Big Sombrero down in Tampa, metal-smashing rough truck from Seattle, and the ever-explosive Dynamite Lady, all set to show you a cracking good time. Don't miss the next episode of Inside Monster Jam, presented by 1-800-COLLECT, Tuesday, May 26th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Tuesday, May 26th at 6:30 Eastern on The Deuce.